Last name Simpson, first name Bart. I can't remember.
Don't critique my technique. I'm no geek. I make the principal nervous. Bust your spit wide in your epidermis.
And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and we're back for another Netflix kind of mini-series called Dealer. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the French name, but in English, it's Dealer. Let's get stuck into it. This is a very interesting one. Do give me a thumbs up. It really does help us in the analytics. As you know, YouTube is an always changing beast, and this is part of my main income. Not just, I'm also a writer. I write novels, but so it really helps commenting, you know, all of that. So if you find any of this helpful, entertaining, you enjoy our reviews, then thumbs up, comment away, share it to like, share the love. It does help us. But let's jump in. A music video director tries to film Tony, a charismatic but unpredictable drug gang leader wanting to break into the rap music scene. His work reveals the hidden, true face of drug dealing while he gets caught in a bloody gang war. Okay, so at the end of this review, I will be doing talking a bit about the end, because I feel like it's kind of like an ending explained, but I will tell you when I get to that. For now, it's non-spoiler, just reviewing what this is, and it is quite unique. It's different, so that's why I kind of wanted to flag it up. It may be in your genre, but it also may be one to avoid. So there's 10 episodes. I say 10 episodes loosely. They're about 10 minutes a piece. I think there's one anomaly of 15. So there's 10 10-minute episodes, except for one that is 15 minutes apiece. And it feels like it was a Quibi series. You know, that Quibi app that was around for a while. They spent $1 billion in making this app and then made some interesting choices and very high priority, like A-list stars, to try and drive their platform. That feels like what this is, and mostly that's saying that it's not good, because there's a lot of stuff that on Quibi that wasn't great, but there was some stuff on Quibi that was fun, and I'll put a link up to some of our reviews for the Quibi app reviews, so you can get a measure of what that is. I know that Quibi is still doing some stuff with other channels, so you will be able to find their content. Nevertheless, if this reminds you of Quibi, it's understandable, because it's very quickly bingeable. 10 episodes. You can't actually change the screen or size, so there's that one difference. But as soon as you hit that end of the episode, you're like, okay, I want to find out what happens. This whole idea is that it's all camera, handhold, GoPros, spy cams, and so it feels like you're always watching a documentary sort of thriller heist sort of thing. It's a music video, so there you have a cameraman and you have the director, and they're there to film this guy who's come out of jail. He's the leader of the hood in this particular area. They've cornered off the whole area, even stopping cops from coming in. And as you'd expect, there's like gang rivals. So that is the tension that flows throughout this. And so these two camera guys, the director and the camera dude, have to get as much footage. And their the label has said that they need to, without telling the actual gangsters to shoot people, they need very exciting gangster-ish shots, basically, to make the music video very exciting. And at the other end of the spectrum of this, we have the actual Tony dude, who's the leader, who's come out of jail, and he has a new lease on life, but he doesn't know how to tell his gang members. He kind of wants to step into the rapping business so that he can stop doing that really dangerous lifestyle. And you know, they teeter on going serious and some of the points, and trying to give it a bit more flesh, a bit more weight to the story, which I think was needed. So you start seeing some of the effects of gang life. So you see how his brother is affected, how, you know, his family is affected, the people around, you know, the parents of the youths that are on the street. You know, you see a little bit of that lifestyle. I would have liked much more, and I think had we had more episodes or longer episodes, we would have found that. But for the style that we're going for, it's very gritty, very quick, on the nose, lots of shaky cam, but not so shaky you can't see what's going on, which is amazing, because even in big budget films, some of, you know, Cloverfield, they're shaking it all over and you literally cannot see what's going on. You know, if you remember when people watched Cloverfield for the first time, there were some people who threw up in the cinema because it made them feel so sick. That is not the case here. you get the idea that you're watching a sort of documentary, you're watching these clips. There are a few cases where it doesn't make sense. So where you see footage coming from, there's one particular shot or a couple where it comes from a cop dashboard. They didn't have the cop's camera, so that doesn't make sense. At the same time, you do wonder, they're using a sort of transition to make it like the camera has cut and goes, but they haven't actually cut. It's just their way of transitioning to the next bit. And the first couple of times I would have kind of gone, okay, they're just using that technique, but they tend to use it the whole way through. And that's kind of one of my gripes with this. Apart from that, it is enjoyable when the action gets going. Those, particularly a chase scene with the cops near the middle and one at the end. As you can imagine, that's not a word. As you can imagine, the actual ending is very high octane chase, gun shootouts, that kind of thing, through tight quarters, building corridors, upstairs, downstairs, around cars, windows exploding, that kind of thing. It does what you expect on the 10, but it does it quite well. And I feel like the 10-minute bite-sized chunk pieces make it fun to watch. But that's about what there is. It doesn't really ever go into like real meat of what it feels like. I feel like they had space to kind of develop this. Maybe that's what they're going for in the second season. I really thought this was going to be a contained series. And it feels like they didn't really know what to do with it because the way it ends, man alive. And so, as a whole, it's really enjoyable. Little bite-sized chunks. You'll get through this so quickly if you stick it out. There may be a couple of dipping moments even in those 10-minute sequences, but I thought the actors did a good job with what they had. It felt real, felt authentic, felt quite gritty. You're on the edge of your seat for the most of the time. I give this a solid B-. I probably would have gone B+, maybe even A-, because I love the way they kind of put this together and the way it made you feel on the edge of your seat. But if it wasn't for that ending and the lack of meat or substance to some of the story, then I would have given it a higher mark. That's not to say there isn't stuff to enjoy yet, and it's an easy watch because you can get through it really quickly. So let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Are you going to watch it? Have you heard of it? So that's my score. Now I'm going to talk about the ending. So that's your spoiler warning right there. In the ending, so multiple things happen in the last episode. We have the massive gun battle. Tony finds out that his director has given a camera to his brother, which is why his brother got beaten up and now has a head wound. And so we have that whole battle chase scene until they end up, just under the gangway there with the cars. Both gangs are fighting. We have the police coming. We have the one cameraman go down, and then we have the actual director running away with the camera. He didn't pull the guy away from the shot. He took the camera out. It's like, wow, you've gone dark, dude. And then we see the battery light going down. There's no battery light, and we see the actual director open the door, and that's where it closes. That's where it finishes as well. And so you're like, what? That's where you're ending it? What the hell is happening? It's like they're like teasing you. Are you a cliffhanger or are you not a cliffhanger? What is actually happening here? And so I have to say that I think there could be a second season, because of how they've left it open. So we want to know whether Tony's brother is actually going to be okay. They say he is, but with the head wound, we don't know how that's going to react. Is the cameraman actually alive? Are the police and ambulance going to get him in time? Will Tony be going to jail for another 30 years? So there's all these questions left unanswered. So that's why I kind of think we probably will get a second season if there's an audience for it. Because Tony obviously doesn't want to go to jail, so he'll have to make some sort of deal. I actually thought Tony might be in witness protection or come out of jail. Originally, that could be a really good way, which is why he had changed so much. But his new lease on life is not wanting to be a part of that gang anymore, and he wants to be a rapper. And so, yeah, so we have the cameraman down, the brother injured, Tony probably going to jail for 30 years. We have the director who's kind of scampered off. We don't know what's going to happen to him. And actually the label need to take some responsibility here for what they've done. So we have all these questions up in the air. It's definitely left it just like, okay, what's going to happen next? So I'm guessing, fingers crossed, just for completion and knowing what's going to happen, that we'll get a second season, and that's probably the answers that they're going to need to give us for the second season. Where do you think it's going to go? I'm hoping they'll answer some of those questions. I'm hoping Tony's brother is okay. I'm also hoping the camera dude isn't dead, because I thought as a combo they never really went much into their relationship, but when they did start talking, director and cameraman relationship, when they did start talking to each other and we saw both of them for the first time rather than just from the perspective of their cameras, it started making their characters more real. And I think we need much more of that. We need more depth to their characters to make us feel the tension. The tension was there, but I feel like once you build those characters, we'll care more in season 2. Alright, so chat to me in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this. Do give us a thumbs up and chat to me in the comments. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday. If you want to know what Quibi is actually like, and you haven't heard of Quibi or you haven't watched any of the reviews, I'll leave my link up for one of the reviews over here and one of the reviews over here. Don't forget to subscribe.